I've read the Bible, listened to different apologists, spoken with different apologists, spoken with different pastors, been prayed for. I guess been prayed for countless times. I've prayed myself personally, asking God for forgiveness if it was due to stubbornness or pride or anything like that was preventing me from hearing God or from seeing that He was real. I've tried everything, basically.
I wouldn't use the word religious. I think the more I read the Bible, the more I study God's Word, I find that Jesus came to eradicate the idea of religiousness. I think Jesus came to fulfill God's promises and to offer humanity the opportunity to be made right with God and have that wonderful relationship that we so long for. I view songwriting in a way that I can connect with my Creator in a space where it's wide open, where my questions are able to be asked without judgment. But at the end of the day, I know where my allegiance lies, and that's in a God who is far greater than I can imagine, far more just than I can imagine. The Bible talks about how Jesus will be a stumbling block for some people, and it's totally real, because Jesus and the life that He calls us to live is so different than what our culture tells us to live. I understand how it would be a stumbling block. It's been a stumbling block for me personally. So has there been doubt in my journey and in my relationship with Jesus Christ? Absolutely. But I'm not told I'm going to become a perfect person once I put my faith in Jesus. I'm promised that His blood will cover my iniquity and in my sin. And that's the promise that I cling to.
I've made a happy adjustment to the fact there is no God, no heaven, no hell, no devil, all that crap. The happy adjustment is I'm spending time with really nice people, and the fact that they are not atheists is just fine with as far as I'm concerned. Actually, I had a couple of them told me that they think they're kind of atheists too. But I'm not going to encourage that even. It's their choice. They were brought up with religion their whole life. If they're good people trying to help others, I'm not going to mess with that relationship, because I like to help others. And I contribute to their causes. That's what I do. But what can I say?
Are you living good? Is your mind right?
I had to call the ministry at the age of 19 and denied that for so many years. And now I'm finally pursuing that and wishing I had done it sooner because of how much more smoothly that could have gone. I have a tattoo. I'm not going to move the card now because of the mic, but it's on the inside of my arm. It's Philippians 3:13. Brothers, I do not consider myself to have fully attained it, but one thing I do is forgetting what is behind and starting on for what lies ahead. Paraphrased. It's kind of a mix of different translations there. I need to focus on what lies ahead. And as for regrets with staying with Christianity, staying what some might call religious, there's none with that. It has caused difficulty to some extent. There has been struggles. It's all worth it in the end. I'm finally figuring out what I need to be doing with my life and what I want to be doing with my life. Yeah, no, it's definitely something that I've needed, something that I want, something that I'm going to maintain, something that is what gives me purpose and what gives me drive, and generally helps me grow, and what I'm hoping helps me contribute to the community and to people around me, and kind of a shine a light there and make everything better for others too.
I'm on a journey, and I don't think it's ever going to end. You don't just stop somewhere. You do if you don't continue to try to find answers, but that's my whole point. It's I want to try, and it's not like I want to find answers to know or find answers to everything, because I don't think that there are answers to everything, but These answers I'm talking about are all subjective. Like the answers are the truths that work for me. And so I've been trying to find answers to satisfy the questions that I have for me, like right now. And I'm sure that there are going to be occurrences that I come across in my life in the next several years, especially like once my son starts to get older and he starts to ask questions and stuff. I'm going to have to try and find some answers, and I'm sure that the answers that I find there are going to lead me down a completely different path, you know? So I don't doubt and I don't regret the decision that I made to deconvert. If anything, a lot of positive things have come from my decision. Because I know that there are some people who are like, I don't believe in anything. I'm just kind of like, I have this nihilistic kind of like idea that like we are nothing, there is nothing, and that is it. That's not the kind of like belief or like non-belief that I buy into. Like if anything, for me, it's more of like you can do one of three things. He says there's the philosophical suicide, where that's you completely invest all your beliefs into some form of spirituality or some form of like religion. There is the physical like act of like suicide. Then you think that life is meaningless, and so you decide to kill yourself. And then he said the one last option that he recommends or that he supports is rebellion. And it's that idea of like not like, you know, throwing your fist in the air, but the idea that if you know that life is meaningless, that there's no meaning to things, that things just happen, and the easy thing to do is to invest into a religion or to kill yourself, rebel. Live your life knowing that you may not know all the answers. And I like that concept. I like knowing that, you know, I may not have the answers and I may not know the meaning of things, but that's not going to prevent me from living my life to the fullest. I'm going to keep finding answers to my questions. And I'm happy with who I am right now and where I've been. And I look forward to seeing where I go in the future.
I've wondered what my choices would look like if I didn't follow him. My relationship with God has both brought me through times where it's been really hard and have had doubts about everything else in the world. And the one thing that I can count on is that God is real, even if I haven't been talking to him very recently, even if I can't feel his presence at the moment. I had this time a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, where I realized that I hadn't really felt God. I really miss that. What do I do? Pray regularly. You spend time reading the Bible. And I was doing that and just kind of feeling like I still miss knowing God really personally. One day as I was praying, I realized even though I haven't been in the best place with God, even though I'm not doing everything perfectly, I can just ask him. And so I just said, God, I haven't felt you in a really long time, and I'd really like to. Right around that same time, I had been missing one of my really close friends. I realized through that that's how God felt about me. And you know, when you don't spend time with someone for a long time, you stop missing them. I was almost at that point with God. I felt like it was always work to be praying and to be reading the Bible, and that I wasn't missing that much. And then when I realized, he says, I missed you and I want you to be here with me, talking to me, knowing me, even if you don't have anything else right.
I didn't really choose to stop believing. I just gradually didn't believe anymore. Now, as far as questioning that, I'm definitely open to the notion of being wrong. And I continue to look at the topic, the question. I continue to try to look at both sides of things. So I still am open to changing my mind, but I would have to have my mind changed in order to believe that Christianity is true and that I was wrong. But so far, unfortunately, that has not happened, and I've tried everything that I can imagine I've read the Bible, listened to different apologists, spoken with different apologists, spoken with different pastors, been prayed for. I guess been prayed for countless times. I've prayed myself personally, asking God for forgiveness if it was due to stubbornness or pride or anything like that was preventing me from hearing God or from seeing that He was real. I've tried everything basically to try to convince myself that I was wrong about changing my mind about Christianity. But so I'm still open to changing my mind, but no luck thus far.